Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we appreciate everyone that comes on a daily basis. I was reading our Facebook today. We're over 69,000 followers. So we appreciate that. Wendy, good morning. Brahim from Portland, Oregon. Good morning. Nativity, good morning. The faithful crew. We appreciate our faithful followers. Nick, good morning from our staff. Debbie, nice to have you with us. We appreciate it. Patricia, good morning. And Connie, good morning. Nice to have you on with us. Pauline. And okay, scroll, go faster. I know I'm slow, but I'm not that slow. Jeffrey, good morning. Mississauga. Lee, good morning, Lee. Dear friend, long time no see. Hope you're well, Lee. Yvette, good morning. Yolande, bonjour. Good morning to Yolande. Lucy, good morning, Lucy. And Rita. Good morning, Rita. Good morning. Anne-Marie, how are you? Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Here we go. Folks are coming on here. A little bit slow this morning. Guess what today is? It's Dawn. Good morning. Norma from Burlington, Elsie. It's question and answer Friday. So we always get excited about that. Got some good questions this morning. Deb from Detroit, Michigan. Deb and then Debbie. Good morning, Debbie. And Yvonne. Nice having you on. A couple of more. Barbara from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Thanks so much for coming on. Ines. We appreciate you, Ines. Thank you. And Suzanne, or Susan, good morning. Deb, another Deb from Timmins. Good morning, Deb. Nice to have you on. And Ziane and Jean Pronovo, dear friends, good morning to you guys. Mary and Vesta. Hello, Vesta. We appreciate it. Okay, a couple more and then we get going, okay? And Karen, how are you, Karen? Okay, let's get to our questions. Marilyn's asking a question. Should we lessen the intermittent fasting times as we age? I would say no. There's no reason to do it. Now look, not everybody has to do what we technically call intermittent fasting. But what I do suggest, even as we age, don't eat at night. Don't eat at night. Because it's a really good thing to let your body shut down. To go to bed, your digestive tract is empty, and your body is going into repair, rest and repair. It's one of the reasons I like intermittent fasting so much, because your body is really in the repair mode. Your brain, when you're sleeping, goes into repair mode. You have your own system in your brain. We didn't even know this. Guys, one thing that medicine should do to every physician of any kind is humble them. Never proud, never think I know it all, because the more we understand, the more we research, the more we don't know anything compared to what's out there. And when it comes to the human body, we didn't even know this. We didn't know that the brain had its own repair system. It's called the glymphatic system. We all knew about lymphatics, but we knew nothing about glymphatics. And your brain only gets rid of waste when you're sleeping. That's one of the biggest problems of not sleeping. Now, intermittent fasting at the Martin Clinic, we like it. And you don't have to technically go in past 14 hours, but a good thing is not to eat at night. And intermittent fasting is when, let's say, for example, you stop eating at 6 o'clock at night, okay? And you go to 8 o'clock in the morning, now you're 14 hours, no food. Technically, you're now intermittent fasting. And a lot of people, a lot of my followers here are going 18 hours. Meaning they don't even eat till noon. And they like it. So every individual is different. If you find that you can't go that many hours, you've got to have your breakfast, then do it. No problem at all. But like I said, I don't think age really has anything to do with it. I think intermittent fasting technically is good at any age. And as a matter of fact, I think as we get older, I think even more. We need less food. We eat more food, but we don't need all that food. And the problem, of course, in our society today is what type of food we're eating. And that makes a huge difference because most people, 93% of the population, don't eat properly. They eat too much. They're overfed and undernourished. Overfed and undernourished. And the problem is the choices that they're making. They're eating processed foods. They're eating foods with very little nutritional value. They are putting paper and twigs on their wood stove inside their body. Their mitochondria are wood stoves. Batteries. They churn out energy. But if you put the wrong fuel in the body, you're putting the wrong fuel and your body's going to pay the price for that. But I like intermittent fasting, I really do. And it's good to discipline yourself and to see how well you will do with intermittent fasting. Marilyn, thanks for the question. Another question, I don't know if it's the same Marilyn. It might be. My question is that milk goes into cheese. Yup. Is it unpasteurized? Well, it certainly can be, but if you're going to sell it in the marketplace, there's some pretty stringent laws about what goes on the marketplace. Now, I think there are some unpasteurized cheeses that you can buy, old cheeses that you can buy. And another thing, I know there is no sugar in cheese, but I have heard, and you heard wrong, but let me just finish, Marilyn. I'll finish your question. But I've heard once you eat cheese, it turns into sugar after eating. Well, look, technically, Marilyn, you got to understand this, okay? Because here's what she's saying, okay? Let me finish her stuff and let me pontificate after. Reasons for my questions are I love cheese, but not if it can cause inflammation in your body, and if you have inflammation, it'll make it worse. Well, I don't know, Marilyn, where you heard it, and I don't doubt that you heard it, because if you follow me for any length of time at all, I will give you the news behind the news. What you just heard there, Marilyn, what you just read is propaganda. It's indoctrination. It's people. Well, there was a story out yesterday I think in the United Kingdom, where these people were in grocery stores and they were taking out all the dairy products as a protest against for climate and for animal welfare. I brought you these news stories, and I will bring you behind the scenes as a PhD in clinical nutrition. Let me tell you what, Marilyn, you just heard. It was nonsense. Nonsense. It's people who hate animal products, coming from vegans, sometimes vegetarians, and it's not true. Cheese is one of the best foods you can eat for inflammation. You want to reduce inflammation? Eat cheese. Now, if you're part of the 1% of the population that can't eat cheese or can't have dairy, then I'm not telling you to do that. And most people can't have dairy because they live on milk and grocery store milk and ice cream and all that crap. It gives dairy a bad name. Dairy's good for you. And my motto at the Martin Clinic is don't ditch dairy, switch it. Switch dairy to fat. Because fat don't turn into sugar like people think, well, might as well be a chocolate bar. I'm having cheese. That is nonsense. Cheese, by the way, is one of the best foods you can eat. It is a combination of protein and fat. You see, the worst combination is carbs and fat, like French fries. Okay? Like a donut. That is fat and carbs. That's not good. But Marilyn, here's what's good. Protein and fat found in nature, especially the animal kingdom. Especially the animal kingdom. Think about it. Cheese is a very, very high source of protein, of healthy fat. And again, people out there, they've been saying the lie for years. Well, cheese elevates your cholesterol. Yeah, good. You want high cholesterol. It's good for you. Cholesterol, your body's made up of cholesterol. Everything in your body has some form of cholesterol, and you can't get your hormones without cholesterol. You can't even get vitamin D without cholesterol. So, Marilyn, cheese is anti-inflammatory. It's got vitamin K2. Cheese curds are the highest source of vitamin K2 in the world. What's vitamin K2? I mean, there's a lot of vitamin Ks, by the way. There's a lot of vitamin Ks. There's about 17 of them. But only K2. You see, think about this for a minute, okay? I'm a big believer in God, so I hope I don't offend people, but I don't apologize for that. Okay, I don't. Now, here's what God gave us. Think of what cheese is. Cheese is full of calcium. Okay, that's why I don't want people to take a calcium supplement, because you're not meant to take a calcium supplement. You don't need calcium. Eat calcium. And when you eat it with cheese or butter, the vitamin K2 that's found in cheese, it's the way it's built, will take your calcium that you're eating a piece of cheese. The calcium, very high in calcium. But you need K2 in it. To take the calcium, don't leave it in your bloodstream and put it in your bones and your teeth where it belongs. You need calcium. But Marilyn, I'm glad you asked the question. I really am. I'm going to double down and triple down on this. And it's going to get worse, guys. I'm telling you. I'm not a prophet nor the son of one, but I'm going to make a prophecy this morning. It's only going to get worse. Because the food industry and big pharma and social media Most are not your friends. They're not. And they're smart because they don't try and go after old goats like me. They're indoctrinating children. They do it right in the schools. And Lee, I've known Lee for a long time. A great woman in education. But it's changed because schools today, in my opinion, are indoctrination machines. They're indoctrinating kids. They're telling them don't eat animal products because they're no good for you. And they're no good for the environment. They're no good for the climate. They're no good for anything except pets. And guys, I'm telling you, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And every day, I don't mind, by the way. It's my job. I don't mind teaching you that. I don't mind bringing you the other side of it. I don't mind. I really don't. I feel it's my calling. Okay? But guys, if you haven't known me, I've been consistent. I talked to a farmer the other day on the phone. Okay? And I told him, you owe me money. He said, what? I said, you owe me money. Why? He said, because I'm your best friend and I'm on the podcast every day and I'm telling you the farmers are our greatest citizens. Because what they produce is what we need. I said, you owe me money. He kind of laughed. Yeah. I meant it as a joke. But, okay. Thanks for the question, Marilyn. And I got off on a little tangent. And it's not against you because I actually appreciate the question. I appreciate it. Cheese is anti-inflammatory. Butter is anti-inflammatory. Steak is anti-inflammatory. Okay. Jean is asking, or Jean, but it may be Jean, when one has a colonoscopy, is there additional supplements to be taken after the whole procedure is finished? Well, a colonoscopy, here's what you got to do. You are going to wipe out your microbiome. It's going to be gonzo. Because that cleaning that they want you to do for a colonoscopy is, it's pretty traumatic in terms of your microbiome. It's going to sweep it away and you need to replace it. That's why I'm big on probiotics. I tell people that are getting ready for a colonoscopy to double up their probiotics and then afterwards double them up again for at least 10 days to a month. Minimum. Probiotics. Friendly bacteria. Okay? One thing that you may add, Jean, is bone broth, because I love bone broth. It's a collagen with a very high in L-glutamine. L-glutamine helps to regenerate the lining of your gut. So if you were to take two things, I'd say do probiotics, broad spectrum, at least 10 different strains, get them all in there, and then with bone broth. Okay, thanks for the question. We appreciate it. And you're right, it probably upsets the balance. It sure does. Okay, Joanne. What does Dr. Martin think that radiation from man-made EMFs, electromagnetic waves, is a major health threat? Well, look, I'm not 100% sure on that. I've read a lot on EMFs. I've read a lot. I was asked if I would be a spokesperson against EMFs years ago. I was asked when I was in practice to sort of be, a front person. But look, I was too busy doing nutrition, and at the time, I read everything. I would say there probably ain't great. but let me give you an overarching principle, okay? So, Joanne, here's my overarching principle, and I think you'll understand this, okay? Now, I brought to you even in the last few weeks, 80% of us, 80% of the population have Roundup in our urine, 80%. 99 point whatever percent of us have BPAs, plastics, in our urine. Like I've always said, if you think you can get away and go to one end of the planet that you're going to be safe from plastic, you know what's polluting the oceans more than anything else right now? Plastic bottles? No. You know what it is? Plastic masks. You know the masks that we were wearing? That's polluting the environment. And nobody will talk about that, but that's a fact. Waste. But guys, understand this. You ain't getting away from it. You live on this planet. Look at your address. If it ends in planet Earth, you're exposed. You're exposed to these xenoestrogens. You're exposed to BPAs. You're exposed to EMFs. I mean, if you think you can run away and get away from what's going on in the Wi-Fi's and with all the smartphones and blah, 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 you ain't getting away from it. And whether you live in China, I've been to China. Whether you live in Korea, I've been to Korea. They got more phones there than we got. They got more Wi-Fi than we got. Listen, you ain't getting away from it. So, here's the point that I am going to make, okay? Joanne, here's the point I'm going to make. You need to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself. And so, your protection starts inside your body. First of all, what you're eating. 2, probiotics. I know you guys think I'm a little bit crazy, and you're right, I'm crazy. But I'm consistently crazy because I always tell you one of the things you need to do is take probiotics. And the reason I love broad spectrum probiotics, the more they study probiotic, the more they realize, holy moly, how good they are for you. And there are strains of probiotics that will chelate. You know what the word chelate means? Grabbing on, biting off. The word chelate means bite off. They will bite off more than you chew. They will bite off those bad radiation, bad waves. They will bite off heavy metals. They will bite off plastic and get it out of your body. And here's another thing you need to do. You better keep your liver clean. Your liver is producing glutathione, and you better keep it clean. And you know how you gum up your liver? Is when you insist on eating carbohydrates and being a carboholic. Now you're going to fill your liver with fat, and now your liver won't do the job that it needs to do because it can't produce glutathione the way you should. And glutathione is Velcro. Your body is unbelievably made. That's why we ought to be humble. When we think of the human body, we should be humble. We go, holy moly. It's unreal. It has its own detox system. Okay? So, thanks for the question, Joanne. These are all great questions, by the way. Thank you so much. Cheryl, I've been the past few months, feeling numb in my toes. Well, that's neuropathy, okay? Whether you have numbness or tingling or burning or whatever, you have numbness, tingling or burning, you're starting neuropathy, okay? And usually, Joanne, neuropathy comes with insulin resistance. It can be a warning sign for diabetes. And you're saying that your B12 is good? Good. So you know it's not that. If your B12, I think you said you were at 1400, right where I like it. I like 1400 in B12. People sometimes say they don't like that. I go, yeah, I like it. I like high. Anyway, so you're starting neuropathy. Now, that could be from your spine. You could have an impingement. That's possible. Or you got trouble. Your nerves are very susceptible to what your blood supply to them. That's why diabetics have so much trouble with nerves. Because of the blood supply, blood supply, blood supply. Nerves don't work without blood supply. So those are the two things that, Cheryl, you need to look for. You either have an impingement in your back that's affecting maybe your sciatic nerve, and that can give you numbness. And the other thing could be you gotta watch for an early sign of diabetic neuropathy, which is very common, by the way. Okay? Thank you, Cheryl. And of course, if you're low in B12, you could get numbness, but you're not low in B12, so it's not from that. Doreen is asking me if I can talk about autoimmune attacking joints without medication, enjoying it naturally. Doctors insist that meds to bring the inflammation down. Well, look, Doreen, very good question. Autoimmune, let's break it down just for a minute. Autoimmune is leaky gut. There's no such thing as autoimmune, in my opinion, without leaky gut. Okay? Leaky gut allows garbage to go into your bloodstream. Now, it's all microscopic. You can't see it. I used to see it looking at with microscopes. You see garbage in the blood that don't belong in there. That, your body takes that as like an insult. And your body can look at that and overreact to it. That can be the start of autoimmune. And that creates an enormous inflammation because your body's response to injury, infection, viruses, or garbage is inflammation. It's the ambulance. And it can go to your joints. That's what rheumatoid arthritis is. That's what, polymyalgia rheumatica is. And a different, scleroderma and other things where the skin and the joints can be inflamed and infected. It's terrible. And doctors, I can understand, they want to put you on steroids because steroids are like magic anti-inflammatories. They are. They're unreal. But, Doreen, major side effects. Okay? Major side effects to steroids. And I've talked to you even this week about non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, how they wipe out your friendly bacteria, how they are one of the leading causes of hospitalization in the North America, because there's so many side effects to it. And they were meant to be temporary, never meant to be taken over a period of time. But if you got rheumatoid arthritis, you got a lot of pain. But okay, so I have a protocol. I have a protocol for any autoimmune. You got to start with the gut. You got to fix that. Probiotics, bone broth at times, a very clean diet, very clean. No sugar and almost no carbs. You don't want anything elevating your inflammation, and insulin elevates your inflammation, and sugar is toxic. So food, certain supplements. I'm very high on high DHA. I'm a big guy on on anti-inflammatory BHA. Big on that. I love Navitol. Navitol is an anti-inflammatory, an antioxidant. It elevates your glutathione. It's a detox of the body. So, yada, yada, yada. That's me, Doreen. Okay? Thanks for the question. Now, good question here by, it says Cheryl, but not spelt the way I would spell Cheryl, but don't matter. I hope you know who you are. What causes pancreatitis? Well, listen, Cheryl, on this. If you go, because I just saw it this morning, a podcast number 882, fructose and the pancreas. You know what we found out about high fructose corn syrup? Terrible stuff. The Frankenstein of sugars. You know what it does? It attacks your liver. We know that. It fills your liver with fat. It gives you non-alcoholic fatty liver, and that is a scourge in our society today. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But here's another thing it does. Hot off the presses. It'll destroy your pancreas. And the reason we see more and more and more and more pancreatitis, listen, your pancreas does two main things. One end of your pancreas secretes insulin from your beta cells. Okay? Its job. Your pancreas, guys, I've often taught this, your pancreas is the size of a ballpoint pen. And you know what's in my ballpoint pen here this morning? It's full of ink. You know how I know that? Because I just got it. This is a new pen. Full of ink. Okay? Your pancreas, if you don't use it too much, if you don't overuse it, you're never going to get pancreatitis. And you don't get pancreatitis, Marilyn, from cheese. You get it from sugar. And that's why we see so much of it. Now, high fructose corn syrup is one of the worst inventions of man in its history. It sounds healthy, high fructose. Oh, fructose, that's good, comes from fruit. Well, it comes from corn, but it's made in the lab. And your body really doesn't know what to do with it. So it metabolizes it just like alcohol. It ain't good, my friend. It goes to your liver. And we thought, what happens in the liver stays in the liver. No, it's not Las Vegas. Your liver ain't Vegas. Your liver affects your brain. Your liver affects your heart. And guess what? That high fructose corn syrup also makes another line straight to your pancreas. It'll destroy your pancreas. No wonder we see so much pancreatitis. And no wonder one of the leading cancers of today is pancreatic cancer. You know that pancreatic cancer, I've been around a long time, guys. When in the 1950s, in the 1960s, in the 1970s, do you know that pancreatic cancer was an old man's disease? It was an old man's disease. Rare, and you had to be really old to get it. And today, that's not the case. Pancreatic cancer and liver cancer are through the roof. And it's food. It's drink. It's sugar drink. And I talked to you yesterday about Starbucks. When I see all those young kids, and when I see them in the mall, and they're getting those fruit smoothies, I get a headache. I get a migraine. They have no idea what they're doing to their body. It ain't good, guys. Okay. I just got excited. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. How to fix it? Yeah, stay away from the carbs and the bad sugars, and especially don't drink sugar. Don't drink it. Don't drink orange juice. Don't drink apple juice. God wanted you to eat fruit, not drink it. Okay? Karen, my friend said, be careful when you listen to your friends. Karen. Okay. If you're over 30, you're not absorbing vitamin D anymore from the sun. Well, Karen, okay, you can tell your friend, okay? And you tell them I love them, and I mean it. But they're wrong. Of course you can absorb vitamin D. The best place to get your vitamin D, my friend, is from Viderma, okay? The Martin Clinic's son. The sun. And when you're older, what did I say yesterday? Well, I'd bring 2 supplements into old age homes, B12 and vitamin D. I'd bring probiotics with me too, because I love them. I love old people. Why do I love old people? Because I'm old. No, but that's not true. In 20 minutes in the sun, when you're 70 like me, you still get 10,000 IUs of vitamin D. Now, you want to have cholesterol to absorb vitamin D. You want to have a good gut to absorb it properly. Okay. You guys are great. I really appreciate these questions. Karen, thanks again. Jan, cannot do the reset diet. Well, I feel sorry for you. What do you think about taking berberine to lower blood sugars? Well, look, I read all about berberine. I like stuff that's better than berberine, in my opinion, for lowering blood sugar. Look at our insulin formula. If you find a better one than that, let me know. I love, for years, you see, remember, I did tens of thousands of diabetics and pre-diabetics in my practice. Tens of thousands of them. And I had to help them with their insulin resistance. I'm big on insulin resistance. What helps insulin resistance? Chromium picolinate, alpha lipoic acid, cinnamon. I'm big on those. I put them all together in a formula. I don't leave any of that out. I'm big on helping with people with insulin. If you find berberine helping you, good. I got no problem with it at all. I'm better. I like my formula because I gave it to my patients for years, so I know it works. Okay? So, Christine, is there anything else I can take for inflammation and eyes other than pine bark? Well, she says she reacts to pine bark. Well, I feel sorry for you. Join the less than 1%. I mean, some people I know react to water, and I'm not kidding you. You know, we all got different fingerprints. We're all different. We're all unique. We're all weird. You know, like we're unique. And that's all right. Don't feel bad about it. But inflammation for the eye. Look, eyes, here's me, okay? Because somebody was asking me yesterday, about eyes. And I said, well, here's proof. For me, I'm 70 years old. I got to wear glasses. My eyes are better today at 70. Just got them tested. My eyes are better today than they used to be when I was in the 50s. Here's what I do for my eyes. Navital. I think it's the best supplement in the world for your eyes. I really do. That, and I combine it with DHA. DHA is oil, and like I was saying yesterday and many other times, your eyes, everything in your eyes rely on circulation. So from glaucoma to macular degeneration to yada, yada, yada in your eyes, All of those things are caused when you got bad circulation. So you need good circulation in your eyes. That's how your eyes work. So I like Navitol because it's high. It elevates your nitric oxide. It opens those blood vessels. It protects those blood vessels. High DHA because it's very anti-inflammatory. I would use that combination. And I've talked to many optometrists over the years, and I said, have you seen the latest research on pine bark extract and the eyes? Because they like to give lutein and stuff like that. And I got no problem with that, except that I like something even better in my opinion. Okay? Thank you very much, Christine, for that question. Colleen, last question of the day. Colleen, 4 months on the reset, walk and do weights. Well, you're a smart girl, Colleen. Can I tell you that? I don't know you, but you're smart. You walk, you do weights, and you did the reset. And you did the reset. Good for you. And here's what, she drinks 2 liters of water. You're even smarter. Good for you. All good things. Walk, weights. Hey, I like that. I think there's a little rhyme in that. Walk, weights, water. And we set. Walk, weights, water, we set. Okay? The 4 W's. Okay, I'll quit joking. Now, wondering why my ankles and feet swell. Well, I can tell you, it's not your kidneys. It's not your heart, because those are all things, when you see swollen ankles, you always look for, congestive heart failure. The heart pump isn't strong enough. The pump's getting weak, and your kidneys are in trouble. But I can tell you, Colleen, without even knowing you as a patient, I can tell you that those things you're doing everything you should. If you still have some swelling in your ankles, that's microcirculation. Okay? That's microcirculation. It's your little capillaries. It's that. And so you might need to wear compression socks. Okay? A lot of people do. I like compression socks. I do. And so if you're doing everything right, you get a 5-star with the Martin Clinic. Good for you. Good for you. Okay? Now, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it. To our 69,000 whatever and change followers on Facebook, thank you. I mean it. To those who are in our private Facebook group, the Martin Clinic, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate that too, and we love that community. If you can't watch, not you so much, but your friends and family, if they can't watch the Facebook Lives, get them to tune in to the Doctor Is In podcast. New podcasts are coming in there on a weekly basis. Okay, brand new podcast. The Doctor Is In. And thank you. I think we're near 1 million downloads specifically on that particular. I'll have to ask Tony Jr., but I think we're right near the 1 million mark for downloads of the Doctor Is In podcast. Now again, guys, nothing like that would happen without you. So we thank you, and we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.